What's going on, guys? Today, I want to talk about the recent changes to Monk coming in patch 0.4. Now, I know there's a lot of worry right now for the Monk as we receive some pretty hefty nerfs with Hollow Palm Technique, Combo, and Walker of the Wilds, and I want to assure you guys that we are going to be fine. So, this was my POB file for patch 0.3 with my character. You can see my damage here. This is the POB file that I have adjusted for the nerfs. I've changed my talismans, my socketables, my skills, and I've removed some things, made some swaps. This is the damage that we're looking at now. So we are completely fine. Now, we are dealing a little bit less damage than before, but we have some cool swaps and some cool tech that will make up for that damage loss. We're still going to be one-shotting Uber bosses. We're still going to be one-shotting 4, 5, 6-man party Uber bosses. It's just going to take a little bit more tech now, some new tech. So let's talk about the nerfs, and then let's talk about the tech that I'm going to be using to make up for this difference. So the biggest nerfs are to Hollow Palm and Combo. Hollow Palm Technique Keystone now grants 1% more attack speed per 75 item evasion rating on equipped armor items, and it was previously 25. So they tripled the amount of evasion rating necessary to meet that threshold, meaning that we now have a third of the attack speed bonus from Hollow Palm as we did. To compensate for this, they have increased the base unarmed attack time to 1.65 attacks per second versus 1.4. So what does this mean for Hollow Palm? Well, Hollow Palm is now going to be more effective very early on in the game and eventually fall off compared to staffs in the late game. So what we'll do is we will use Hollow Palm for our leveling, and probably once we get around in-game maps, maybe white to yellow maps, we will swap onto a staff. It's going to be whenever the damage starts to really fall off. So Hollow Palm, early on use, not really into the late Uber in-game scaling. The other big nerf is to Combo. Now, Combo was how we were achieving ridiculous amounts of damage for free. Combo made it so that you gained a stack of combo every single time you hit an enemy, and you dealt 3% more damage per stack of combo, and it was uncapped. So what they have done is they have capped combo at 20 stacks, and they have also reduced the damage bonus from combo from 3% per stack to 2% per stack, meaning now the maximum damage bonus you can get from combo is 40% more damage. So what do we do about the combo nerf? We just don't use combo. Combo is great for the damage, but we can make up with it with another support gem, and then now we gain access to weapon set points. For those that didn't know, whenever you weapon set swap, you actually lose up any built up combo. So since we don't need combo anymore, we can now use weapon set points. And that is where a lot of our damage is coming from, is these weapon set points that you can see allocated here. Now let's also talk about the Walker of the Wilds nerf, because this is how we were sustaining our mana. The Walker of the Wilds keystone has been removed from the passive tree, and its effects have been moved to a newly added lineage support gem. So we have two routes to go here. You could either buy this lineage support gem or drop it if you're lucky, or you could go mana cost efficiency. Now, for the sake of us not knowing how expensive, how rare this lineage support gem is going to be, we are just going to go the route of mana cost efficiency with nodes like conservative casting and deep trance, and we still have our mana leech. So we're going to be fine on mana. We're just going to have to tweak things a little bit to make it work, and then we're going to have to see how expensive this support gem is going to be. We may not even have to take these nodes at all once we have the lineage support gem. Now, we didn't just get nerfs, we did get some buffs, and I want to go over those really quickly. Some buffs that we did receive was to Elemental Conflux. Elemental Conflux now has a reservation of 60 spirit, and it used to be 100, meaning that we now have 40 spirit to play with. This on top of them nerfing pack size, meaning we won't need double Herald anymore. We're just going to go with Herald of Ice. You don't need Herald of Ice and Herald of Ash. We can go for either another offensive spirit gem or another defensive spirit gem. So I think we're going to be able to make it work with this reservation going down. We'll have more spirit to play with. You won't need the spirit reservation efficiency on your body armor anymore. This should help out, especially for those trying to make the build on a budget. Now, the other buffs are to some of the physical staff skills. Things like Staggering Palm got a damage buff, and now you'll be able to hold on to that Staggering Palm a little bit longer. We had Whirling Assault get a giant AoE buff. I mean, a giant AoE buff. I don't know if you guys seen it in the trailer. It's that big spinning looking skill that that they were using in the trailer. It now has plus 14 to melee strike range at all gym levels and 1% more area of effect per gym level, meaning that this thing has a ton of AoE for clear now. So I'm going to do some testing and see if maybe this will be our clear skill instead of Ice Strike, we won't really know until we actually jump into it in patch 0.4. But we did get, we got a mix of buffs and nerfs, but we're going to be fine. So now let's talk about the tech that I'm utilizing to make up the damage loss here. So as you can see on my tree now, we're able to take advantage of these weapon set swap points. So now we can put our power charge nodes and such on those weapon set 2 points, and then we have weapon set 1 points for things like Ice Strike. So you'll just have to weapon set swap, which is automated, thankfully, in PoE 2 now. You just have to click the skill associated with the weapon set and it will automatically swap your weapon set. So along those lines, since we are now also using a staff, we are allowed to use these staff nodes right here. Now, Hollow Palm, since you were counting as unarmed, you did not get the bonuses from the quarterstaff nodes here. Now that we're using a staff, we can take advantage of these, and these are super powerful for attack speed, critical damage bonus, attributes, crit chance, crit damage bonus, and consuming power charges. And the other change that I've made is something that some of you may recognize if you played my Flicker build in patch 0.2, and that is the Power Tread hunting shoes. Whenever we got to Uber bosses, if you didn't have enough damage in patch 0.2, you could put on these boots. You just swapped them whenever you got to the Uber boss, and it increases your critical damage per power charge and gives you a +1 to maximum power charges. This means that you can see the damage jump is absolutely insane. Like, we have a ton, we have, I think, 75% more critical damage bonus. Yeah, 75 crit multiplier, +1 maximum power charges. So you swap these on, you'll get about another almost 7 mil damage right there. So we'll be completely fine. Damage-wise, we're just going to have to tweak the build a little bit to make it work. With the nerfs to the talismans, I've already accommodated for them. I've swapped all my talismans in the build. I've swapped all my runes in the build that were duplicated that aren't going to be allowed anymore. And we're now not going to be using the Abyssal Belt. You'll have the option between the Ingenuity Belt or something like Chevron Satchel if you want to heal your ES with your flask. It'll be a open book for what we're going to use. You can use a rare belt, you can use Ingenuity, you can use Headhunter, whatever you want to do there. The other thing is that we may have free Headhunter, and it's this Einhar's Beast Right right here. This is letting us get the modifiers off a rare monster whenever we kill them, whenever we kill them on low life. They've buffed the duration of this up a ton. We'll look it up right here and show you. Beast. We'll just do Einhar. Einhar's Beast right here is now grants killing blows supported strike skills against rare monsters. Grant 2 modifiers for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. This is free Headhunter. So if you can manage to time it and kill your rares on low life with this right here, you will gain their modifiers for 5 minutes, which will probably be the entire map for you. So we'll have free Headhunter. We won't have to use the Abyssal Belt anymore, which is extremely expensive. We don't have to buy the really expensive runes anymore for movement speed. We don't have to buy the really expensive runes for attack speed in the gloves. We'll be able to make up our resistances in runes now. We'll be able to change some stuff around. You know, we're going to be fine. We're just going to have to adapt. We've done it every single league thus far. We got nerfed from 0.1 to 2. They got rid of, they nerfed Bell, they nerfed Ice Strike, they nerfed Double Herald. In 0.2 to 0.3, they nerfed Flicker, they nerfed Infernal Cry, they nerfed the Sacrifice Tech. And now from 0.3 to 0.4, they're nerfing Combo, they're nerfing Walker the Wild, they're nerfing Hollow Palm. Every single league we have been nerfed and we have been okay. We will be fine. I promise you guys. We just got to get through it together, okay? So with all that, I just wanted to tell you guys that we're going to be good. We just got to work with this. I will be updating the POB, updating the Mobalytics, and I will be more than likely 90%. I will be league starting this. It's between this and Witch Hunter. Witch Hunter got some good buffs. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. I'll be looking at them. I'll kind of take some ideas into consideration if you guys have any good ideas to maybe work with. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I appreciate you guys watching and made it to this point, and good luck in the league, you guys.